Hey, what's going on, folks? We have a great show for you today. It's being reported that Tucker and Elon Musk had a conversation about working together, and that a lawyer for Tucker Carlson spoke to the media, giving some more transparency into what went on. Is the media trying to silence Tucker? Are they trying to keep him tied in some sort of contract, even though they pretty much got rid of him? We'll read the report and talk about it. It's going to be a relaxed Sunday report. God bless you. Dream Rare Podcast starts now.
It's the Dream Rare Podcast, welcome to the show. The way to get the news at the desk or on the road, let's go. God is great and success in our control. The world is crazy but we get better from obstacles.
What's going on, everybody? Hope you're having a beautiful Sunday. Today, I want to just read a recent report that says that Elon Musk and Tucker Carlson have at least spoken about teaming up, and also that Tucker is prepared to torch Fox News. So I want to read the report real quick, and the reason I'm reading it, two reasons. One, it's Sunday. I just kind of want to relax. I don't want to do anything too aggressive. Two, it had an actual source from one of the lawyers representing Tucker Carlson, so it seems more legit than just an anonymous source. So I'm going to read the whole report for you, and then we're going to talk about it. Is Tucker teaming up with Elon? Is he thinking about it? Is he going to torch Fox News? And is Tucker Carlson basically being silenced right now in some sense because he's under some sort of contract even though they laid him off? It seems very strange. So let's just read the whole report. This is Axios. They said that Tucker's getting ready to torch Fox News. Tucker Carlson is preparing to unleash allies to attack Fox News in an effort to bully the network into letting him work for or start a right-wing rival, sources close to him tell Axios. Brian Friedman, the high-powered Hollywood lawyer Carlson retained for the contract dispute, told Axios, the idea that anyone is going to silence Tucker and prevent him from speaking to his audience is beyond preposterous. Why it matters. Tucker versus Fox could reshape the conservative news world. Fox, which has seen its ratings plunge in Tucker Carlson's slot since he was let go 13 days ago, wants to sideline him by paying him $20 million a year to not work. Axios has learned Carlson is busy plotting a media empire of his own, but he needs Fox to let him out of his contract, which expires in January 2025 after the presidential election. We're told Carlson has been contacted by news outlets, including Rumble and Newsmax, that offered to pay him more than his Fox News contract. Behind the scenes, Axios has learned that Carlson and Elon Musk had a conversation about working together, but didn't discuss specifics. So I'll read the rest of the report in a little bit. It seems like, and the reason I semi-trust this, I don't always trust the mainstream media, but they got a hold of a lawyer that they say is representing Tucker Carlson. He spoke out, and according to this report, it seems like they're hinting that Fox pretty much didn't let him out of the contract, but let him off the air. So they're basically trying to pay him $20 million a year, according to this, to just not say anything until after the election. I have to say this on multiple levels. One, we watched how I would say the media cheated in favor of Joe Biden for the 2020 election in the sense of silencing the Hunter Biden laptop story. Most left-wing media, most social media companies before Elon Musk got to Twitter basically tried to put the kibosh on that story because they felt like it was a election manipulating story, which it was, and they said it was false and maybe Russian disinfo or whatever, and it ended up being true, as most people with half a brain expected or suspected. So now, I don't know what is going on at Fox News, but I've always said this. I don't care what you think of people. Obviously, mainstream media is not very trustworthy, but Tucker was, in my view, the best person on television. It wasn't even close. Number two wasn't even close. Tucker would break stories about the war. He would challenge the Ukraine narrative. I mean, Tucker was leagues better than anybody else at Fox, in my view, or CNN or MSNBC. And the fact that they pretty much kicked him off, according to this, I didn't know exactly what happened. He's still under contract, and they're basically going to try to use that contract, allegedly, reportedly. I just have to say this because I'm not 100% familiar with the story, to basically keep him silenced until after the election. Sounds like another way to try to interfere media-wise on the outcome of the election, like social media and media sites do. Very interesting stuff, and if that's the case, I don't know exactly what type of contract Tucker was under, but a lot of times they're under NDAs or they can't talk. So I'm not saying this is happening, but per se, a major media company like a Fox can use that contract over your head to basically try to legally challenge you if you speak about what's happening. I don't know what that's like. I've never signed an NDA with a company like that. I don't have any constraints, but I've heard that a lot of media companies, even some of the not big ones, they do that. I mean, Tim Pool's talked about it. People have suspected that Crowder does it to his employees. I'm not really sure. It's not my place to dive into that. I don't care enough, but you get what I'm saying. That's how they get you sometimes, is some sort of contract where you feel scared legally that if you speak out about what's happening, you're going to get in trouble. And it seems like that's what they got Tucker caught in. So once again, for those just joining, I'm going to keep reading, but it says that according to this report, they sidelined him and are going to pay him $20 million not to work. He's plotting a media empire of his own, Tucker Carlson, but, you know, his contract expires with Fox in January 2025. So they're not letting him out of the contract as of now, apparently, but they're using that over his head maybe to shut him up until after the election and silence Tucker for a few years. Let me just read a little bit more. I'll rerun the Elon part. It said Axios has learned that Carlson and Elon Musk had a conversation about working together but didn't discuss the specifics. Carlson confidants also say he's contemplating building a direct-to-consumer media outlet where millions of his fans could pay to watch him. Carlson's predecessor in his Fox slot, Bill O'Reilly, created a blueprint for this. 2 days after being booted, Carlson teased a Twitter video. We know that. I mean, that's pretty much it. The rest is just basic stuff. That's the report. So it would be interesting if he worked with Elon Musk. I know a lot of people don't trust Elon as well because of his involvement in, you know, I would say SpaceX or Neuralink or some of his companies like Tesla. A lot of people do love Elon. He's very funny. He's very authentic as far as I could tell in interviews. I happen to like him. I wouldn't hop on a rocket with him and pretend like we're going to the Mars or anything. But, you know, I have to preface it with that because when I say I like Elon, people are like, oh, you want to put a chip in my head? No, I'm just saying I think he's funny, but I'm not. It's not like I'm getting in a rocket with Elon with a like Buzz Aldrin helmet on. So let's calm down. But with that being said, I like to look at results. Elon has gotten results. I actually like Elon Musk more than I like most people in the GOP. I just do. Elon's tweeting about crime statistics. He's talking about how the media basically blows out of proportion white crime, you know, and ignores other crime, other racial crime. This is something that most GOP people are afraid to talk about because they'll look racist. Tucker tweeted that and responded to a page that I follow. I mean, he's more authentic than 99% of GOP members. What he did with Twitter in unveiling how they were working behind the scenes, with fixing it, with being more transparent, he's done a good job. Community notes, this little like fact checker thing Twitter has, it's way better than Facebook or Instagram fact checker. They fact checked Joe Biden. They fact checked Tim Pool the other day when Tim Pool was lying or exaggerating, or asking a question, like suggesting DeSantis did something when it wasn't even in his state. So Community Notes seems like a fact checker that isn't biased. Like they actually, I don't know how they do that, but it's great. Long story short, Elon does more than most people in the Republican Party for speech and media, fighting back systemically, not just crying the victim like, oh, we're being censored. Yeah, we know. Oh, everything's rigged. Yeah, we know. We know that. So what are you guys doing? Because you guys had the White House. You had like all three branches. We know how the system works. And Elon, I know he's rich. I know it's easier to do maybe when you have tens of billions of dollars. But systemically, instead of crying about it, Elon actually did something about it. Like he actually had a vision and executed on it, and it's working. So if him and Tucker did something, that would be interesting. Tucker could go his own route. Everybody's trying to throw money at him. Valuetainment tried to throw money at him. Apparently, according to this report, Rumble, Newsmax, everybody wants Tucker. He's like the number one guy that everybody wants. He could go any route he wants, and I don't think he's broke by any means. So, when he's out of his contract, or if he could get out of it, it's the world is Tucker's oyster. He could do whatever he wants, make a fortune doing it, have all the independence he wants, and with his leverage, being Tucker Carlson, if he signed with Rumble or Newsmax or, you know, Valuetainment or anyone, I think they would give him the freedom to say and do whatever he wants. He has that type of leverage. So the world's his oyster in that regards, but according to this report and his lawyer now speaking out, it seems like Fox is really trying to pay him to shut up or something. Like It's crazy. You really got to wonder what's going on at Fox News. I never fully trusted them, but the fact that Tucker was the #1 draw on television, right? Let's go over some stats. There was a statistic that said that Tucker drew more Democrats from the age 20 to 40 than even competition shows on MSNBC and CNN. Not only, and that's according to a report I saw. So, not only was Tucker the most popular person on television, he's the most popular news show. He's the most popular news anchor on Fox News. He's pulling in more Democrats than even CNN. Why would you want to get rid of somebody like that? I think we all know the answer: narrative control. Tucker isn't as like brainwashy as everybody else. So if you just get him off the TV, it's like they're showing you their hand. Here's, if this is the case, I'm just saying this because I don't feel like getting sued. You see how sue happy Dominion voting is and all. I try to be as legally accurate as I possibly can be when it's my opinion, when it's facts. Not only do I like to tell the truth, but I see in a lawsuit, people are already suing each other, so I don't want to get involved. But according to this report, it's like, here's the money to stay sidelined and we could shut you up. How is that worth it? It's only worth it if you care about what he's saying. And, Tucker's not really the worst on TV. I think he was the best. So they see him as the biggest threat. He's the only one who would challenge the Iran narrative when there was a war ramping up with Iran. He's the only one who challenged the Ukraine, Putin, Russian narrative. He had on Jimmy Dore. He'd have on RFK. He'd talk about big pharma stuff. I mean, someone said this guy's fake news. I'm out. It's a Sunday. It's the Lord's Day. I'm having a nice, calm, relaxing thing. It's like people come in here with the craziest energy. I was on Twitter the other day and some lady's like, F you, F this. And I'm like, can someone get their mom, their wine mom off Twitter? Like screaming at me over a rap post I did talking about MGK. And then some people say when Anomaly reads the comments, it ruins the show. Let me know in the comments if it ruins the show. Does it ruin the show when I read the comments, or is it funny? I think it's funny sometimes, but if it's not, I'll just ignore the comments and this won't be an interactive show. I'll just read. But long story short, someone said Anomaly is a psyop. I mean, I'm just having a calm, cool Sunday. You're welcome to start your channel, talk about what you talk about. A lot of times people that are like psychotic, it's just like, it's like, okay, bro, no one's stopping you from making a Rumble channel or a YouTube channel or a BitChute channel, but whatever. Thank you, Bill. Appreciate Zalo. Someone said, read the comments. Someone said the earth is flat. Stop doubting yourself. They lied. I guess people aren't going to let me have just a calm, relaxing Sunday. I work sometimes 7 days a week, and I'm just like, you know what? I don't really need to do a show today, but I'm going to do a relaxing one, just kind of reading this report about Elon and Tucker. Does it really matter? Not really. You said I'm funded by the DNC. All right, now I know you're a liar or troll. That makes no sense at all. People are like programmed into binaries. It's like if you challenge Trump, they're like they start barking like dogs, like they have like animalistic tendencies, and they're like it's like two options in their head. It's like if you challenge Trump, you must be working for DeSantis. If you challenge Republicans, you must be a Democrat. You might be joking, but it's like this is the type of like energy I have to deal with 1,000 times every week. It's like people can't process something. They can't process that you're allowed to challenge Trump and DeSantis, and you actually should challenge them, because if you don't challenge the Republican Party after what they did to us in 2020, you're weak. It's so basic. It's like, challenge both of them. Neither of them deserve your worship. I'm going to say this real quick. I tweeted it really simply, and it's really the perfect example for Republicans. If you don't want to challenge Republicans, if you want to either baby them or worship them, you don't deserve anything. If you're willing to challenge Trump and challenge DeSantis and make them work for your vote, you deserve things. If you're not willing to challenge either one of them, or one of them you don't want to challenge, and you want to baby them, make excuses for them, or worship them, then this whole movement is fake and controlled, okay? You can have an opinion about who you like or dislike, but this idea that we should baby and just worship anyone is insane. I don't do that with Tucker or Elon. They're not politicians. They're both, one of them is a media person. One of them pretends to send things up in the air or something, or does send them up in the air and they land. But I'm just giving my perspective on what Elon's done with Twitter. And Tucker really breaking the mold of the television. He was definitely the best there. And, I think that they are absolutely trying to pull something off, just basically control almost all of TV. Now that he's gone, he was the last menace on TV. And they have a strategy to what they're doing, the Democrats. I know this because I remember the one time when they wrote a smear article about me in NPR. Chelsea Clinton tweeted something about Tucker Carlson, and she's like, Tucker Carlson is a blah, 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 blah. You know, he's so bad. And then under it, Chelsea Clinton tweeted the NPR article smearing me. And it said, oh, this guy on Facebook's a conspiracy theorist. So it's almost like, I don't know who's running the show over there, but it's like, okay, Tucker's a huge problem on television. Like Anomaly's a huge problem on Facebook. And, you know, it's like a coordinated effort where they just drop these on the same day and act like, I see what's going on. You don't have to like me. You don't have to like Tucker. I don't really care. But on television, he was clearly a standout. He was clearly the best. He was clearly the one challenging the war in Iran, the war in Syria, the war in Russia and Ukraine. You get what I'm saying? No one does that on television. Mark Levin will not do that in the same way Tucker will. Sean Hannity will not do that in the same way Tucker will. None of the other people at Fox, maybe like Jesse Waters or Laura Ingraham will. I don't know. You know, on CNN, MSNBC, they're like warmongers now. They love the establishment narrative. So Tucker was a threat to the hive mind over there. Him gone, trying to silence him for 2 years. It's interesting stuff. Someone said Tucker's mainstream media. Don't be fooled. If he hooks up with Musk, it's confirmed. I mean, I don't know. I guess I hear what you're saying. I'm not somebody that thinks that Tucker's right about everything. Thank you, Stacks. I appreciate the super comment. He said, "Oh, dude, this must be nice." But I don't know. I mean, I have my opinions and perspectives about certain people, but at the end of the day, I don't know. People that overly hate too hard on Tucker, it's like, what do you want? You know, what do you want to say? I've heard him say things I disagree with. I've heard him maybe gatekeep certain narratives that I want to speak about. But at the end of the day, Tucker isn't stopping me from working. Like, if you think you're so much better than Tucker, go do it. I've done it. I got 800 million views. No money, no label, no management. I did this all by myself. I got 800 million views by myself. You go do it. You're so much better than Tucker. You're probably not. You're probably not better than Tucker. So, you know, I'm not saying that it's not possible to be better than him. There's certain people that I like better than him, but really he's the cream of the crop when it comes to entertainment media. I don't agree with everything he says. I'm not going to him for spiritual or life advice. To be honest, I barely even watched him, but the people that are so hateful about it, it's like, okay, then you do better. You can't, you don't want to, then stop talking, you know? Elon, same thing. I don't trust SpaceX, to be honest. I don't even believe half the things they say. Neuralink is creepy to me. AI is real and other people are working on it. And when it comes to what Elon did with Twitter, I like him. I like what he says. I like his energy now. I like his attitude. I like the fact that he actually exposed and made stuff transparent so we could see what's going on. I like that Elon Musk did a better job with the COVID narrative than Trump and everybody in the Republican Party. You have to remember, people don't care about this as much as me, or they don't remember, but I remember in April, not a lot of people, including Republicans, this is what separates people that have a soul and a brain and their own energy, and then the bobbleheads, as I call them, people that just bob their head up and down, and they might as well just put like Republican elephant pom-poms in their hand. They can't think. They're NPCs like the left wing. In April, when everything really mattered for America, for our country, to be honest, for the election that Republicans sabotaged for themselves and then cried the victim, that's when it really mattered. The COVID data, how they were counting cases, the lockdowns. And I remember who was wrong and who was right. Trump was wrong. The Republican Party was mostly wrong. They weren't saying anything interesting, anything innovative. They weren't giving people the information, breaking the data to show the truth to people. They were just basically rolling out big pharma, just playing a show. Elon went on Joe Rogan, and he spoke the truth about what was going on and how they were counting cases. Before Trump, before DeSantis, before anybody. Elon did that. Before a lot of people that are going to complain in here. Did you see through? Maybe you did. And then I appreciate you. But a lot of people, it took them like 8 months to figure out what was going on. At least Elon, with his power, was always saying, this is all overblown. We shouldn't have locked down. He was ahead of the Republican Party. With that being said, with Twitter, he's done more with the Twitter files, with how he's made community notes, with how he bought something and flipped it. He's done more than the GOP has for me. I understand he's not a Christian. I understand he's not even really conservative, although I bet he's becoming more conservative. I appreciate what Elon did, and I appreciate what Tucker did. Doesn't mean I believe everything they say, doesn't mean I trust it, but I try to have grace and show love when people do the right thing and criticize when I disagree with it. But some of the people that are like, screw that, screw this, screw that, let me see you then. I'm not saying it's not done. I thought the media was fake. I thought it was corny. So I created my own, and I've had a lot of success by myself. So I don't feel like Elon or even Ben Shapiro, or I don't feel like any of these people are stopping me, because they're not. Maybe they have more resources. Maybe they have more connections to social media, but I'm not a victim, just like you're not a victim. So if you really think that Tucker's so bad, let me see your reporting. Let me see your media. Let me see your journalism. Let me see the reports that you've done. If they don't exist, then who cares? Elon, same thing. Someone said he called out the BBC. Elon, I have good intuition. I'm not saying I'm going to jump on a rocket and put a spaceship in my brain or whatever he's trying to do with Neuralink or a chip, but Elon has good energy to me. He's very authentic. He speaks way more truth than most Republicans. Elon's more authentic than Trump is now. Trump used to be in 2018. Trump is like a politician now, and Elon's more willing to talk about stuff. So, I go with my energy, etc., but it's not to say I agree with every single thing he says, but he does objectively more than most Republicans to actually fight the thing. And this is my big issue with Republicans. This is like, they love to play a role. I almost see the entire Republican Party, including Trump, as controlled opposition at this point, because it's always like a show. It's always like a look, but it's like, okay, what are you doing? Buying Twitter, releasing files, making community notes, flipping it on its head, giving people a platform to speak the truth, bringing thousands of people back. That's a result. Whether you like or trust Elon or not, he did that. What did the Republican Party really do? What Elon did with Twitter is 20 times more important than Getter or Truth Social. Truth Social has just turned into a place for Trump to truth out into the wind about Bill Barr and complain about DeSantis. It's like, and then Getter kind of fall by the wayside because everyone thought that was the Trump one, and then they split it into two different ways. Rumble's doing a pretty good job. Could be better, could be worse, but they're making an impact to some extent, and I appreciate Rumble. But, he really did that. Tucker really was on TV saying more than other people. I know people that I'm friends with who went on Tucker's show, and they're like, dude, Tucker's a nice guy. I spoke the truth. Tucker asked me to come on. He's had on Jimmy Dore. He spoke to a lot of cool people. I mean, you might not like Jimmy Dore, but he tells the truth about wars and stuff. I like Tucker, man. I think he was one of the good guys there. Doesn't mean he's perfect. Doesn't mean you should agree with him for everything. And maybe this is, and I know maybe you might know this and other people might not, but no one should control you, especially if you're a Christian, especially if you're a believer in God. If anything, you should be controlled by God. You should look up to him for ideas, and I'm not saying nothing in the world you can be interested in, but like, this is the issue with politics, is like, people feel like they have to worship or hate Tucker Carlson. People feel like they have to worship or hate Elon Musk. People feel like they have to worship or hate Donald Trump. People feel like they have to worship or hate Ron DeSantis. And it's like, we could act like the elites are so bad. We can act like Trump's so bad or DeSantis is so bad or whoever, but it's really on us. If we're so controllable, people will control you. Whether it's Satan, Democrats, rhinos, it's God gave you the ability to not like worship a human. Look at things that he says, agree, disagree, call it out, give credit where it's due. That's on us, and people take advantage of us because we're so easy to take advantage of us. JV Leroy said, thoughts on him saying white men don't fight in his text in the Dominion lawsuit. The MSN's already going after him. I haven't seen the full report on that. I've just seen tweets about it, so I don't know. I believe you. I mean, there's nothing wrong with saying that. You already know the double standards and hypocrisy. It's like, if you said black men don't stand up for themselves, no one cares. If you said Jewish men need to stand up for themselves, no one cares. If you say white men need to stand up for themselves, then all of a sudden it's racist. I mean, right now, I didn't want to get into the negative news, but there's all this crazy stuff going on in Texas. They got some Hispanic guy, and they're saying it's white supremacy because he has a tattoo, and it's like, it's white supremacy when the dude is like objectively not even white. They hate white people. And I'm not crying the victim like, oh, I feel so bad for myself. I don't care. These losers can't make me hate myself or make me feel bad. I don't feel bad. I'm blessed. I'm fortunate, and no one can stop me. I'm not going to allow that. So in general, but yeah, that's why I like what Elon said too. He tweeted out crime statistics of like black on white, black on black, or whatever, white on, and he showed like it was basically saying that white crime is the most overreported, but it's like happening the least. That's what the meme said. As far as where the data came from, I haven't been able to fact check it yet, but Elon responded to that. So Tucker and Elon, they know what time it is. They know what the media is doing. They don't agree with it. And that's enough. They're not politicians. They're not pushing legislation. I don't look to Elon as a savior. I don't look to Tucker as a savior. They don't have to do anything for me. They could be like Jeff Bezos, hanging out with someone with some big old, silicone show-offs. You see the pictures of Bezos, party boy. You know what I'm saying? He's getting jacked, hanging out with some situationals there. You know what I'm saying? He could do that. They could ride off into the sunset and just do what, Jeff Bezos is doing. Find some woman with some big old bungaroos and, you know what I'm saying, try to party. They could do what Bill Gates is doing, which is the opposite of what's good. They could do what Mark Zuckerberg's doing, which is nothing, just doing jujitsu, which is kind of cool. It's cool that he does jujitsu, but it's like, Mark Zuckerberg hasn't really done much besides that. Elon owes me nothing. Tucker owes me nothing. Tucker could easily be Don Lemon. Elon Musk could easily be Bill Gates. They could be 100% not for me. They don't owe me anything. So the fact that they're willing to break the narrative, to buy Twitter, to go on television and challenge the war agenda, that's enough for me. That's enough. And someone says CIA, PSYOPs, etc. Here's what I'll say. Obviously, there's going to be PSYOPs from intelligence communities, PSYOPs from both parties. There's going to be billions of dollars spent on politics. There's going to be PSYOPs from other countries. There's going to be all sorts of PSYOPs. Let's not play the victim. It's up to us to see through it. It's up to us to not be so controllable. This has been my energy all year, and it bothers some people, but really, I feel like this. The left, let's just start with, I always try to start with them because most of my audience is right-leaning, and it's like overwhelming if I just start with the right. Let's start with the left. Look what they're doing at the subway. Some guy who obviously needed mental help and possibly more than that committed like 40-something crimes, and the dude gets, strangled by a good Samaritan trying to help anybody when he's threatening people. If that guy just doesn't threaten people, nothing happens. And they're standing in the subway, like blocking a train, left-wing, whatever it's called, activists. Here's what I'll say. It's funny because that guy had no self-accountability and they don't want him to have self-accountability. So now what they're doing to protest the guy with no self-accountability is they have no self-accountability and they're standing on train tracks. It's like if you get hit and killed by a train, it's your fault. You can't just jump down on the train tracks. Well, that's what we're doing. Of course, that's what you're doing because you have no self-accountability. You want no self-accountability, and you want to live in a city that's decaying and filthy. That's what Democrats want. They want filth. They want the crime. They want the homeless. They want the mentally ill beating people on subways. They're not going to say it, but when people try to fix it, they get all mad. Leave them to rot by themselves. It's like Satan world. It's like Sodom and Gomorrah. If people are born and raised in those cities and love those cities and want to resurrect those cities, God bless you. You're stronger than I am. I want nothing to do with these cities. It's disgusting. The people there are annoying, and they want like filth and degeneracy and homelessness and crime. They love that. They won't. If you fix it, they will screech like demons. Ew, disgusting. Okay, then stand on you want to stand on train tracks and that's what they're doing. And then you go to the right. Regardless of what you think about Elon, regardless of what you think about Tucker, regardless of what you think about Trump, regardless of what you think about DeSantis, these people can only do what you allow them to do to some extent. Yes, they have more power than you, but honestly, strength is in numbers. So if everybody's so easily fooled, like Trump did everything he did with the Republican Party in 2020, and the best I could get is like, oh, he's a victim. Oh, they took it from him. Oh, he did nothing. Oh, he didn't know. Oh, his advisors. Oh, he got fooled. Oh, he's got an ego, but I still like him. It's like, what? Okay, then you're like a fan. That's fine. But if you're not an American citizen that cares about your rights, your economy, your freedom, and your liberty over a guy, then you don't deserve anything. I don't care what you want. I want it, but I don't want to work for it. Then lose. I don't care. And then you're going to wonder why the Democrats are always beating the Republicans because the Republicans are working with the Democrats. When it comes to all the oppression that the Democrats are doing, the Republicans fund it, the Republicans sign it, the Republicans give a thumbs up, and then they cry and brainwash people into giving them money again to do the same thing on a loop. So the point that I'm getting is just like the left wing has no self-accountability, the right wing just wants things because they pay attention, but they don't want to actually call out their own people in order to do it. And that's my only message with Trump, DeSantis, all these people. There's good and bad that everyone does, but at the end of the day, no one owes you anything. And at the same time, if it's easy to trick you, like if Elon does 10 things that you like and you compliment him, and then he does one crazy thing and you don't want to call it out because you like him, well, that's on you. That's not his fault. Who told you got to be all in or not? It's okay to, Tucker is a TV guy. You don't have to fully trust him, but someone said Anomaly's becoming a leftist. You're so brainwashed by idol worship of Republican politicians that I could go further right than Trump economically, socially, fiscally, and you think it's liberal because you're brainwashed by a false paradigm. You're so low level in your mentality that if someone challenges your narrative with the truth, you spiral because you're in like a Coke Pepsi world. It's like it's got to be Biden or Trump and DeSantis. It's all false paradigms. It's all low level, low IQ stuff, and low level, low IQ neighborhoods get low IQ results. So that's all I'm saying. If that's the world you want to live in, nothing I've said in the past 3 years has even been. You get what I'm saying? It's like in every sort of way, I'm more conservative than Trump is now. But if I challenge him I don't even know what you're mad at. What part? I said Elon, Tucker. No, did I say something wrong? Oh yeah, worship a politician, guys, because they'll save your life for sure. And definitely don't ever challenge them because it's like, okay. I go a little harder on politicians because if you're in office and you're the president, you have to understand what type of power the president has. They could sign executive orders. You know what I'm saying? Trump signed dozens of executive orders. Biden signs dozens of executive orders. They're also signing legislation. Politicians are passing things. They have the ability to declare emergencies. Tucker is just a television guy. Yeah, I appreciate that he does certain things and some things I disagree with that he did. But at the end of the day, I go a little harder at politicians, I guess, because I feel like, when the pen's in their hands, they need to be challenged more than a guy that just like talks for 30 minutes on TV. It's not that it's not important, but it's like Elon is a businessman. He could easily ride off into the sunset like Bill Gates and not challenge any false paradigms, but he is, so I appreciate it. Tanner said, stop, bro. I'll never understand why people come on my YouTube channel, on my show, on my page and tell me to stop. Like, I think clearly this country has a mental health problem. That's obvious. Way too many people are on pharmaceutical pills. Way too many people don't take care of themselves. Way too many people are really struggling. So a lot of people want to believe in a politician because they don't want to do the work on themselves. That's clear. There's a lot of issues going on in this country. A lot of them stem with the lack of community, the lack of family, the lack of values, obviously the lack of God. I see it all. We all know that. With that being said, it's like, dude, the internet is like a jungle. I don't mind. I understand what I'm getting into. It's not like I'm a victim, but like I'll go on my show and people will tell me to stop. Like imagine if I went on your YouTube show and you're live and I'm like, stop. You realize you just click the X button and you go, it's the wild, wild west. You could watch every sports game. You could watch every television show. You could watch every YouTube channel. You could do anything. The world is your oyster, my friend. Welcome to the World Wide Web, starring Will Smith, Leonardo DiCaprio, and Kenny Chesney. Now go somewhere, bro. Welcome to the internet. Why are you here? And then I'm on Twitter yesterday, and I'm talking about Machine Gun Kelly, who's a rapper, and he dissed Jack Harlow, who's another rapper. And he did a little cipher, right? So I'm commenting to it, and some lady's like, who cares what you think? You're white or something. And I'm like, first of all, it's two white rappers. I'm responding. But anyway, just because you're white doesn't mean you can't do stuff. Like, this is a white lady telling me you're white. Like, I don't know. Like, what if she dances? Should I be like, well, stop dancing, white woman? Like what? It's like weird. And these are like conservative people where it's like, you can't do that because you're white. It's like, Why are you saying that to me like a left winger? But anyway, I respond to this lady and I'm like, somebody get their drunk mom. And she's like, oh, screw you, F you, F you. And I'm like, I'm having a lovely Saturday. I'm enjoying myself. I'm just commenting on like harmlessly commenting on a rap video that doesn't matter. And it's like, you're white, screw you, F yourself. And I'm like, lady, you got 99 problems and I'm not one of them. Like, you have issues. This is most people. Like, I'm not your problem. If you're on my YouTube show telling me to shut up, I'm not the problem. This is my show. It's my channel. I'm going to stop. You're like, what are you, like a train conductor? You just say stop and I pull over? Like, this lady's yelling at me on a Saturday night. I'm trying to watch UFC fights. She's like, you're white. Oh, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to them. Yeah, they're also white. Okay, so what? Like, why does their race matter? Like, what does that have to do with it? F you, go F yourself. And I'm like, somebody get their drunk mom off. I said, somebody get their drunk boomer mom off of Twitter. And she's like, I'm a Gen Z. And I'm like, okay, whatever. And then someone's like, I'm a boomer anomaly. I like you. I'm like, I don't dislike all boomers. I'm a degenerate millennial. Okay. You could make fun of me being a millennial. Like, people are so sensitive. I don't dislike all boomers. I just said she was a drunk boomer because I thought it was like a funny thing to say, like a silly millennial. I guess not. But it's like, this is the internet. It's like, I'm trying to just have a chill Sunday, read a pretty basic standard. I understand it's not like the most deep diving thing. Someone's like, talk about building 7 to, it's like, dude, I don't got to do that all the time. I don't, just like everyone else, I don't have to do really anything. I could just easily do something else tomorrow. I don't want to. It's just like people want something all the time, but really, my main message to everybody is self-accountability, no matter what my stream is, because that's what matters. Like, what you do yourself matters. How much you take care of yourself matters. If you don't take care of yourself mentally, spiritually, physically, especially mentally and spiritually, nothing else matters. It's going to ruin every aspect of your life. Doesn't matter if it's your opinion of me or Tucker or anyone else. Someone said he wasn't talking to you. Here's another thing, though. Why even, like, do people just come in my thing and just argue with each other in the comments? I guess that's fine. It's good for engagement. But it's like, if I'm doing a live show and I see thousands of comments, I'm not going to be able to identify that, like, you're arguing with someone else. Just ignore them. Don't even give them attention. But in general, I really believe in what I'm saying. Like, I could sit here and tell you that if you buy my, Trump commemorative coin, then you're a real patriot. And I'm not knocking Trump commemorative coins. Get your money, buy a Trump coin. I have a $2 bill. That's a Space Force $2 bill. Hopefully it's worth money for some time. Someone said boomers for anomaly. I love boomers. I'm sorry I'm a little tough on boomers sometime. I'll take more energy out on millennials and Gen Z, those degenerate little scum. No, I'm just kidding. But in general, it's like, there's things that matter, but I don't believe what other people believe. I wish I did so I could fit in more, but it's like, if you give them money, they'll fight for the election fraud, and that's really going to solve things as the election. It's like, if you look at 2020 and all you care about is the election, you're brainwashed. I don't care if you like Trump or Republicans. Like, 2020 was the biggest scam in modern history, and both parties were in on it, and Trump was in on it, and none of them care. And you're going to let Republicans brainwash you into thinking the only problem with 2020 was November, one day, not March through November? You're going to let them off the hook for that? Republicans are? This is how foolish people are in this country. So it's like, who cares how many coins you buy? Who cares how much you donate to Trump? Who cares how much you're fighting the left? Nothing matters, because apparently too many people in this country have no self-awareness, self-accountability, and they're spiritually and mentally broken, and physically for the most part, but especially mentally. It's like, if you're not in the best version of yourself, you're not going to be in the best version of your relationship. You're not going to do the best at work. You're not going to be right about politics because you're going to be spiraling all the time and cursing at me on Twitter. It's like, that's just reality. People got to work on themselves. That's what politics really is, though. It's like this false promise that these like two car salesmen tell you, that if you hate Trump, that Biden's going to make it all better. If you hate Biden, then Trump's going to make it all better. It's honestly just as stupid with both sides. I mean, the Trump side's less stupid because he actually does a little more, but for the most part, it's kind of just as dumb. And like, people don't get it. It's like, well, I don't like Trump's personality, so I'm going to vote for Biden because, like, what's Biden going to do? He's going to do everything Trump's going to do, but just worse. Either the same or worse. Trump's going to do all the same stuff that Biden's going to do, and he's going to do a few things better. But if you don't, like, the fact that Trump's leading in the polls by 30 points or something just shows how goofy Republicans are. It's like, but they deserve things because they want things. Says who? You let Republicans off the hook for 2020 and you're going to vote for the same guy who scammed you with vaccine socialism and fair weather in and out working with Birx Fauci. Oh, but he didn't know, and neither do you. He doesn't know and you don't know. Two goofies that have no self-accountability. But he got fooled, and so did you get fooled. So you're a perfect match. Two fools. Two fools in a little bird's nest. You know, you guys could talk about what fools you. Like it's just like a corny country now. But yeah, outside of my opinion about Tucker and Elon, at the end of the day, I really think this country is going to keep going down the tubes to some extent until people actually embrace their own lives. Let's talk a little conservative talk. Families matter. Communities matter. I mean, this is the age-old way. That's why marriage used to be between a man and a woman, because it's biblical. A man and a woman come together. They create a strong bond. They put their privates in each other. They create another human, and it creates a feminine, masculine structure for that kid to be raised in. That's why marriage meant marriage. It didn't mean go hang out in West Hollywood and do what it's like. Make up another word for that. That's fine. I'm not angry at people. I'm just saying the reason that's what a marriage was not because I hate you for what you do. I'm not judging you. I'm just saying man, woman, feminine, masculine, put their private parts together, create a human. That was the original family structure, and it still is, but it's very not common, especially because of divorce and all that stuff. But anyway, you had that, then you had community. These things make people happier. These things make people healthier. Everything can't be perfect in this world, but it was a pretty good baseline for most people. Now, look at the country. Once again, not trying to be rude, but more than half the country's fat. I mean, big pharma is just suck like all over the place. And here's another angle real quick. I'm going to get on a tangent, but I'm glad I'm going to, is all the LGBTQ stuff is a big pharma cash cow. And all the feminist stuff is a big pharma cash cow. I think big pharma's in on this. All of it limits population growth, and all of it is a pill. Ready? Abortion pill. They're pushing that. Now it's in Japan. That's already having a population crisis. Shocker. Birth control. I don't want a kid, so I'm going to take a pill every day. Well, Big Pharma just made a lot of money off you. There's all these gay commercials on television now saying like, oh, instead of stop railing dudes in the butt, like just take a pill and blah, blah, blah. And there's side effects and blah, blah, blah. So it's like, oh, you're getting diseases from sodomy, then just take a pill for it. Oh, you want to transition, you want to switch your gender, we'll take a pill for it. Do you notice Big Pharma's in on all these things? What do they all have in common? Pill, 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 pill. No kids, no kids, no kids, no kids. No kids and pill. That's all of this stuff. I find it not coincidental. I think Big Pharma is cashing out on this stuff. With that being said, our country's a mess right now. And I'm not angry about it, and I'm not hateful. There's a lot of beautiful things in this country. Great people, great businesses, great opportunity, great national parks. I love America. But on that note, it's like everybody wants to hear something. It's like, oh, well, if you're gay, that'll solve your problems. If you take this pill, that'll solve your problems. If you abort your kids, that'll solve your problems. If you vote for Trump, that'll solve your problems. If you hate Trump, you can vote for Biden. That'll solve your problem. Like, and everybody just wants a quick fix where they're like, oh, well, it's not really going to do that much. And when it comes to economics, Republicans aren't that much better that they're claiming to be. I'm going to vote for them because they're less scammy. But Trump printed more money than Obama in 2020 unapologetically, and none of them have apologized for it because they're not sorry, because they don't care about you and they know you're goofy enough to just talk about the election for 5 years and run around Trump complaining about his hires on True Social. So there's going to be no accountability for the Republican Party because they bounce it back and forth with the Democrats like a ping pong ball, and they're friends with them. Trump's about to be on CNN Town Hall to give them ratings and attention, and he's better friends with Gavin Newsom than Thomas Massie. After 2020, if there's not a red flag in your head at all, then you're just like a red version of the blue guy, just being the same like puppet pawn. You know, that's just what it is. So I think it all stems from what I'm saying, though. I think it stems from the fact that people don't want to go the distance in their own lives. So then they settle, and they just settle for something else. Like if you're a business owner or a restaurant owner and you didn't shut down for a day, you're underwhelmed by what the Republican Party did. But 99% of businesses did shut down, even if they were Republican, because they were nervous of the consequences. Very few men with businesses stood up and said, I'm not shutting down for a day. I'm not shutting down for a week. I'm not shutting down for a month. Like I would say less than 1% of businesses actually stayed open and pushed back against the tyranny that we're told to shut down. So that's the percentage of people that actually have a spine outside of politics. I think that's a good kind of starting point to be like, well, I'd be in I would say, airport, and I would take my mask off once I got through what's it called? The metal detectors or whatever that's called. And everybody in the airport would have a mask on except for me. And I walked around like I was in the Truman Show with thousands of people, and they all had a mask on. And once you got through, you didn't even really have to wear it. Nobody would say anything, but everybody follows. Do you think that was 100% Democrats? Of course not. It was probably like 60-40 or 40-60, but 9 out of 10 Republicans wore it. I'm just saying that's a metaphor or a symbol or a percentage point of why Republicans get nothing. They don't really want it. They want to just believe in someone to do it for them. But that's the country. If you have 70% of the country, as I've read in some reports, 70% of the country's obese, that means only 30% of the country takes care of themselves. If you don't even go that route, it's easy to just believe Trump's going to do this or this person's going to do this. Yeah, they might fix a little this or that, but you get what I'm saying? And then you look at these percentages. That's just what it is. So I just don't see it getting better until people take accountability in their own lives. And what I'm trying to preach is should be conservative. Yes, family values. Yes, all that is great, but so is taking care of yourself to some extent. But yeah, staying together, being in a good community, all these things really matter as well. And that's part of the breakdown. But I don't know. I think big pharma is eating our country alive. I think alcohol and consumerism is not helping much. I mean, I'm not saying it's not good, but I don't know. I feel like this country has gotten very lazy. And, the quick fix is like, oh, I'm going to hate that person a lot or like that person too much. It's like this unhealthy balance of like, I either need to obsess over that person or I need to viciously hate them. And I don't see it. Let me read a few comments and I'm going to roll out. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for being here. Cause from the Hegelian dialectic. Right. It's up to us to see through it though. I'm looking at so many people's takes and I'm like, I don't know. I'm just like, I get why the elites scam us is because we're so easy to scam. Like people just love it. You put a donkey on one and an elephant on one and a MAGA hat on one and a change are going to come, like Che Guevara style poster on one, and people will eat that thing up for 20 years. Would I go back on Tim Pool's show? I would chat with Tim Pool. I just don't want to go to the Dirty Beanie Bunker because, I already tried to go to the Dirty Beanie Bunker one time and his staff just treated me horribly. And I don't care how rich or successful he is. I know way more rich and successful people that are good people, and I just don't like him, and I think he's not a good person, and I think the way they treated me was super unprofessional and just honestly douchey. So I would love to chat with him. I'm not afraid to chat with him, but I'm a traditional person. Like if someone comes to hang out with me, I hang out with Patriot J or somebody, I show them a good time. I'm hospitable. I'm a friendly person. I don't want to go to the smelly, dirty beanie bunker because it's proven that Tim is not that type of person. So I'd love to chat with him, but I'm not going to fly across the country, drive an hour to go somewhere where I don't feel hospitable. I don't care how much money or attention I'd get off it. I don't need to do that. So if he can, have an awakening, a spiritual awakening, become a better person and admit to his mistakes, but I don't think he's going to. But yeah, I'd love to talk to him in a different setting. I just don't want to go to the dirty, smelly beanie bunker. That's it. Someone said she's not working with him anymore. It's all good. I mean, his like little apology was just like really douchey anyway. So I'm I don't know. There's other ways to get attention and be on podcasts. I'm not driving out in the middle of nowhere, but it's all good. And that's the thing with Tucker too. I know a lot of people have been on Tucker and they're like, yo, Tucker's such a nice guy. Like, it's like Tucker will greet you like you really matter. Even though Tucker's way more important than Tim Pool, it's like he'll talk to you like he cares about you. It's like with Tim, everyone's story is like, dude, he's not a good person. He's not nice. Like, it's like Tim's, maybe it's like he's got issues, internal issues or whatever. So he's projected them onto other people because he's insecure. It's probably insecurity. But it's like, I just don't like people that nobody, like, everyone's like, dude, Tucker's such a nice guy. And with Tim, it's like no one likes him. But I don't know. It's all good though. People pretend to like him though because they want what he can offer them. But that's no way to live, you know? Tim's a very talented guy, very successful businessman, very smart, very hardworking. He needs to come to the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. He needs to have a spiritual awakening, drop the ego, and just treat people better, you know? It's nice to be nice. Just don't it doesn't matter how much you accumulate. You gotta treat people a little better. I should do a call-in show. I don't know if I can handle a call-in show. The comments freak me out enough. People are like, screw you. Screw you. I'm like, dude, lady, it's 7 o'clock. She's like, F you. F you. I'm like, yo, what are you? He a white guy. I'm like, I don't know. Would those people call in? They're like, anomaly, screw you. Like, sorry, lady. What are you mad at? You can't be that mad at me. She's like, I'm mad. My pills didn't come in. I was watching Sean Hannity for 5 hours straight and my pills didn't come in and I'm pissed at you. Are you working with Biden, huh? You criticize Trump. What are you, Biden, huh? It's like, lady. She's like, CVS is 3 months late on my pills. That's been... Like, yo, lady, we could be friends. I just can't. I can't be fighting on Twitter all the time. I just have no energy. I just don't want to anymore. It's nothing fun about it. I'm down to have a debate. I'm down to have a conversation. I'm down to argue if it's like productive. But like the best example of this is I went on a cruise for a week and I turned off my phone for the most part and I just got back. And like the second I log online, I'm just like, God is great. And someone's like, screw you. And it's like, dude, this is why the internet kind of sucks sometimes. I'm not going to complain. The internet's amazing. It's given me so much. I'm very grateful. I've connected with a lot of great people through the internet. I'm not just trying to harp on the negative, but like that's the internet to be in a nutshell. It's like I have an amazing week in reality. I log in to say something positive for 1 second. And I'm like, fuck. And I'm like, what? It's wrong with you. And people on Twitter feel a little more ballsy because they could be anonymous and stuff. And it's just like, you know what I'm saying? They could put like a freaking, like a Franklin the Turtle like profile picture and just be like, screw you, you're working for Ben Shapiro. And I was like, dude, who are you? Like, what? Just calm down. It's, you know, but it's all good. Someone said people swarm when they see you're online. Well, it's just like the energy is just low level sometimes. I mean, it can be that way in person too, but for the most part, I feel like it's just something about the internet comment section. It just could be draining. I'm sure everyone knows it's not like a personal experience I've only had. You never had a conversation on Facebook where 2 hours later you've accomplished nothing and you're just drained of energy and you want to take a nap? You never done that on Instagram or Twitter? You're just going back and forth with somebody, like defending yourself, and you're just like, I need to take a nap. It's like, what did you do today? You're like argued with you know, Candy Lady 54732 on Twitter. What did you do? They're like, I don't know, went to the gym. They're like, did you go to the gym? No, I was too busy arguing with Candy Lady 746329 for 5 hours about, you know, Trump and DeSantis on Twitter. Productive day. It's fun. Someone said pro masker Tim Pool is too afraid to debate you. Is he? I don't know if I'd call him pro masker. Listen, I would love to have a chat or debate with Tim Pool. I don't like the way that his staff treated me like garbage. I don't like the way that they left me stranded. I don't like how rude and obnoxious and disrespectful and low energy they were. I don't like the fact that Tim only apologized when he felt like he had to because Adam had a whole gotcha moment and he's like, well, I guess I apologize. Like Tim is like a sociopathic, narcissist, low energy, self-conscious, dirty beanie guy. So I have no... Like after already trying to go to his dirty beanie bunker and how they treated me, I'll converse with him over Zoom or something. I don't feel welcome in his little fortress where everybody seems to hate him, but they just go there for the attention. It's like 9 out of 10 people. How was Tim Pool show? Oh, he's not a nice guy. He's not a welcoming guy. He's not like a warm host. It is what it is. I'm glad he's got money and a bunch of views and stuff. Diane said, would you ever go on PBD podcast? Yeah, I mean, I don't want to get into specifics, but they're trying to basically bring me onto their team. I'll just say that. So Patrick, I've been talking to his team for months now. I met with him. We chatted. We went to lunch. They want to work with me. They're trying to make something work. I would do it if the numbers add up and it's not too restrictive or anything, but they're good people over there. It's just a business decision. So I like what I'm doing. I have no problem staying by myself. Things are going well. But also, I would like to connect with the right media company. Patrick's a Christian. He's a good guy. They have no ambition to like censor me or stop me from saying anything. So if it were the right situation and I could just level up and work with cool people, then it's a possibility. Let me see. Someone said Bill Gates is creepy. Bill Gates is creepy. Fact check. Instagram and Facebook fact checkers would be like, fact check, Bill Gates is totally skinny. He's a supermodel. I mean, he's built like Mark McGuire, but he doesn't do steroids. It's all natural. It's his vegan diet. I mean, Bill Gates, fact check, Bill Gates is like the best philanthropist in the world. I mean, Bill Gates, the GMO mosquitoes that he funds are just so good. I mean, they're really doing wonders in Florida and Texas. I mean, meat is so bad. I mean, just eat vegan meat. It's like why? This is my only thing to vegans. And vegans are going to get mad at this, but there's no reason to get mad. I know Rose is probably going to be the most mad. She's a vegan. But anyway, why can't vegans just make their own stuff like avocado, guacamole? Guacamole's not pretending to be steak. It's just guacamole. It's delicious. I love avocados. I love guacamole. It's itself. Be yourself. This is a vegan steak. No, it's not. If you were good enough, you would make a little hummus. There you go. Hummus is trying to be itself. Guacamole is trying to be itself. Vegan chicken is trying to be chicken. Vegan steak is trying to be steak. Just be yourself. Make a little vegetable dish. I eat vegetables, but I don't like that they're trying to replace my meat and pretend to be my meat. If you're going to replace my meat, just be yourself and replace it with your own ethics. Don't dress yourself up with a bunch of canola oil as steak. It's vegan steak. No, it's not. It's a bunch of crap put together to look like a meat. It's not authentic. Be yourself. Be like guacamole, my friends. That's like a Bruce Lee. Be like water, my friends. Be like guacamole. Mr. Rogers said it the best. He said, get those vegetables off my plate and give me a grass-fed steak. He used to scream for steak behind no, I'm just kidding. It's not truly a Mr. Rogers quote. At least I don't think it is. I just thought it was funny. All right, I'm going to take off. I wanted to make this 20 minutes, but I somehow got on a 30-minute tangent. Appreciate you guys. God bless. I'll be back soon. This was supposed to be a light Sunday episode for those seething about Tucker or Elon. Feel free to have your own opinion and perspective. It's all good. It's just what it is. I'll be back soon, and I'll put this up on Dream Rare Podcast. Thanks to everybody listening on audio. We've pretty much doubled our listeners in the last couple of months. Things are on the up and up over there. Thank you for watching. Check out dreamrare.com. We got new Big Farmer, not Big Pharma shirts. Check those out. We got God is Great sweatshirts, the most comfortable sweatshirt that I own. A lot of people say the same. It truly is comfortable. I'm not just saying that. And I hope you guys know by how I kind of operate here. The sweatshirts really are that fire. They're made in America. The hats are made in America. They're good. I don't cut corners. I do it right. I do stuff that I like. And even if I could make more on a hat that's like whatever, I always turn it down. It's like, no, it's gotta be good. So I'm not going to say no one has good merch. I'm sure somebody does, but you compare it to a lot of other people's merch, it's going to be high level stuff because I'm not cutting corners. I'm basically holding out for the good stuff, made in America and high quality stuff that I would wear, not just once, but multiple times. Check it out, dreamrare.com. Appreciate you guys. And sorry to the 3 people I argued with or whatever. Not really, but you get it. Hey, what's going on, my friends? Just a few ways to stay in touch and support if you'd like to. The first way is dreamrare.com. We have blue beanies, black beanies, pink hats, other colored hats, freedom versus tyranny shirts, stay blessed long sleeve, God is great long sleeve, and lots of more cool items coming soon. Dreamrare.com. Check out the shop to support. Everything's made in the United States. Handpicked by me. Patreon.com/raretalk for $5 a month. You can help support me, support the show. If you haven't noticed, unlike other channels, I don't work with very many sponsors, sometimes none at all. And part of the way I'm able to do that is with the dreamrare.com shop and patreon.com/raretalk. So thank you guys for keeping this show free, unimpeded, uninterrupted. I'm forever grateful. grateful. My free email list is stayintouchwithme.com, so check the links below in the description or just type in on any browser stayintouchwithme.com, all one word. You'll find my email list, put it in there, and it's the least annoying email list you'll ever be on. I barely use it because I don't like getting emailed every day or every week. It's annoying, so I don't do it. Stayintouchwithme.com. It helps me take back